You probably would do I wasn't. Well, I did a lot of stuff later.
Because I was sitting upstairs and then I think stop.
Especially if you want to go, yeah, you need to.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care. So that's kind of my bigger situation. My push to say I don't know how to approach it though. Like this, my brother's speaker. That's still helping more people not gone to college, being into college. But what good is that going to do if you also don't have a program that supports the people when they get everything right?
When they get everything right. How do you mean?
When I say everything right, when you go and do all the stuff that you're supposed to do to be able to get a job, like your degrees. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a program that's not going to speak about people go to school, get degrees, you don't have a program that gets the companies incentive to say they will hire you once they do all of that. You want me to say, the first one, you got to have both. And to me, the best.
You're talking about affirmative action, basically.
Right.
Some type of benefit.
They don't, which you don't really see anymore. That's my point.
No, you're quite right. And I think a lot of people are impacted. You're talking, for example, about jobs, but when people look at a person, they also look extensively at his background, and I think their background may impact them.
No, I'm just I'm sure it's me, but I just didn't get it.
No. For example, we're talking about jobs and people or companies not having incentives to hire minorities and whatnot. But it's not only that. It's not only not them having incentives to hire, but also like when people apply for a position, I think they're impacted because the company automatically looks at their background and at what they know. And so like.
I disagree because I've been on both sides of the federal government. I'm saying when I was coming along, yeah, they always look at that. I'm not saying that anybody who got these jobs, they were still overqualified. But even when you're overqualified, and the company had incentives like they told that they could hire more minorities, or they got tax breaks or something. Then they found the ones who were qualified. They still can hire people who are not qualified. But I'm talking about how do you get them to be more aggressive and interested in hiring ones without qualifications. I've never ever suggested that you hire people who are qualified. But what good is it for you to have a scholarship program, gives you education, and then they come out and you don't have the same people who donated money to that willing to get them the same job after they get qualifications? To me, that's the biggest incentive for those kids to stay in those programs is to be able to see success coming out when they get out.
Brother's Keeper, it's basically like some type of...
That's one that's been in the news and stuff. I'm really not that big. It's been like in the news. It's called My Brother's Keeper.
Voter fraud though, you don't really believe like that it's going to be any change. I mean, really though, it seems that anyone who's...
I never say never because when you listen to all the history today, one of the first things that happened is they never gone through this.
Do what?
Just even be in a situation where as many minorities all have the wealth that they know that they have. So you can't say it happened once, which used to happen in the 70s, 80s. I don't know what it's going to take, but I would never say I don't think it's going to happen. I would say, like the speech was saying, what she was saying today, you have to decide how to make it happen. But I'm a little more, I'm realist, but I'm a little more optimistic than just saying it will happen. Because if you had that, then you would not have had people who kept this church going like this ever since. Because I can't go there. I can't say it will not happen. I would just say I don't know. It's not going to happen with a lot of work. Not a lot of work.
You're talking about voting, right? About voting rights.
I'm talking about, it wasn't just about voting rights. Voting rights is to put people in position who would then put in programs. So voting rights is not important just because of voting. It's because of who you put in and what you want them to do after they get in.
But It seems like the lady was mentioning like this erosion of rights in this country.
Yeah, voting rights, but if you have the
But
right,
it's not only about erosion of voting rights, but also of civil liberties, civil rights.
but what happens is it starts with voting rights the way this country is set up. The way it's set up, because when you vote people in, you then make those policy changes. If you cannot put them in, you will not get to that point. So it's not about just voting rights, but if you can't vote people in who are going to pass those affirmative action programs we're talking about came out of voting rights. People voted for people in, all those people who got in, they won because they were voting. So it's a domino effect. You can't have one without the other. Affirmative action just didn't happen. It happened because voting rights for certain people in who didn't pass laws, who didn't put in affirmative action. You follow me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just saying, so it's not isolated.
You know the things that
But, see, the Lord told us that story today when we were sitting at her meeting, her real office on the water day. And that was not intentional. What happened was, all of a sudden, okay, they were filling customers. It was 2 o'clock in the morning on the floor of Capitol Hill, and they were tired of filibustering and giving up. And Steve Lawrence and all the rest of them, Cheryl Chisholm, all of them, would not let it go. So finally, the segregationists put on the table. They said, well, and they thought that the civil rights workers were going to back off. They said, well, we're not going to pass this unless you include white women, which would have been their wives and their daughters. They did it because they thought the whole civil rights delegation was going to say, we'll go back and talk about it. Because that was going to buy them another couple of weeks. You know how they push the can down the road. So on the floor, on the house at 2 o'clock in the morning, they decided to just say, okay, at least we got our folk in there. That's the story Steve Lawrence told us late one night as to how they got in there.
Martha Griffith, Congresswoman from Michigan, she supports the rights amendment. And my former teacher said, she said, why are you men giving black people more rights than wives and daughters? Why are you, she didn't say, why are you giving them more rights than your wives and daughters?
Yeah. But I remember her telling us how they got added. And they didn't want to, but they were not going to let the delay happen because they knew that if they let them go out of the chambers that night, they were going to have time to do it. And they had come short. It wasn't even short. They had the most they needed, but then I don't know all the parliamentary procedures, but they said you will put women in there. And they thought they were going to buy time because they thought all the black males that were there on the floor were going to say, well, we got to meet on it. And they didn't. They just said, okay, fine. Which, that's why children used to always give the speech that you have to go for, the reason we have to support all the other rights, whether or not we actually believe all the rights need to be, but if we don't, they always come back and take away, use as an excuse to take away ours and close to somebody else. The only reason, So when she was saying, when she and all the rest of them, Coretta, what we were talking about, when they would go and be supportive of all of the women's rights things, that was the way to get some of them who were influential to support. Not that they necessarily, not that